In this video, we're going to be looking at the differences between the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S in 2024 and which one is best for you. Both consoles offer some great features, but there are various differences between the two different consoles, some you might even not think about until you watch this video. So make sure you watch till the end and you'll know the differences. Now, the first major difference with the Series S and the Series X, which is obvious, is the graphical gameplay features and the frames per second. Some games on the Xbox Series S can go up to 120 frames per second. For example, Fortnite can play at 120 FPS. All the games on the Xbox Series X can play at 120 FPS. We got the 4K capabilities on the Series X. The Series S, we are limited to 1440p, which really isn't that limited if you really think about it. If you get a 1440p monitor, you'll be just fine. Now, if you're upgrading from the Xbox One, the main loss that you'll get with the Series S is the disk drive. So if you're upgrading from the last generation to this latest generation, and if you mainly use your discs, then definitely the Series X is probably the one for you. Now, if you're upgrading and you just have like a digital profile and you mainly just download the games, then probably the Series S will be there for you. It's also a great budget-friendly option and a great introductory into the latest generation of gaming, and it's really easy to get into and quite affordable in comparison to these more luxury models that we have today with the Xbox Series X, for example. Now, let's talk about the gaming experience. We have a mass library with the Game Pass, and we have hundreds of games to choose from. In terms of backwards compatibility, you actually have an advantage with the Xbox Series X because of its disk drive. Some of the games won't be available on the Game Pass, and just having that advantage of actually having a disk drive will allow you to play more Xbox One games, Xbox 360, and potentially original Xbox games too. So it's worthwhile to have that disk drive so you can be able to play a lot of these past generational games to enjoy some of your nostalgic gameplay experiences. Games like past EA games won't be backwards compatible. Stuff like really old FIFA games, for example, or WWE games you won't be able to play. But games like Assassin's Creed games you will be able to play. More unique games such as Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, you'll be able to play. There's lots of different games to be able to play, and there's a mass library out there already in the open. You can actually just look it up online and see which games are backwards compatible, which ones are for you. There's a reason why we have that out in the open, so we know which ones we can get, which for both consoles. With the Game Pass, mass library, but it's sometimes limited, so you won't be able to play all your favorite games from your past. So there's certain games that I wish were on the Game Pass, such as Marvel Ultimate Alliance, for example. There's certain games that you can play with the Xbox Series X that you can't play with the Xbox Series S because of that disk drive. So that's a huge difference. We've got 500 gigabytes with the Xbox Series S, which is quite limiting. While on the Xbox Series X, it comes with the 1 terabyte internal. They did fix this by releasing the Xbox Series S Black model, where it has the 1 terabyte internal, but we also have the storage expansion, so you can get yourself like 1 or 2 terabytes. But let me tell you, it is very expensive to do so, but there are USB hard drives that you could use, which are a better option for your storage, which I do recommend getting because the Game Pass, there's going to be a lot of games that you want to be able to play and download. In terms of that, I would say definitely getting storage expansion is worthwhile, especially if you're going to get the Xbox Series S. In terms of the price overall, there is a huge difference. So in Australia, you can get the Xbox Series S for about $500, which is why it's a great introduction to the latest generation of gaming. So it's such a great duo, but you're literally limited to that. Like, there's no way of inserting discs, and you have to subscribe to the subscription service with the Xbox Series S. It's something that really limits you, because if you want to own any of those games, it's kind of like you can't really, because you're limited to the Game Pass. but you're also limited to the online store as well. So not everything is on the online store as well, so you're very limited to that. And yes, it's a great budget-friendly option, but also think about that and it'll help you with your decision. We have a huge price tag of about $750 in Australia for just the body. You can get bundles like the Diablo 4 bundle or the Forza bundle for about $850. Is it worth it? It's worth it for like getting all the features, and it's worth it for a game like Forza Motorsport as a bundle, but you can get that on the Game Pass, so it's not really worth it because you can get it on the Game Pass anyway. I don't think it's worth getting an Xbox Series X for a bundle then, because you know, all the games are on the Game Pass. Now this leads into the conversation of, do you get the discs for the Xbox? Well, I prefer the discs for more of the backwards compatible games, so I actually have them physically, and also just getting the games themselves now, you'll actually own them if they are a disc edition, and you get to resell them for a profit. So that's also something to keep in mind. If you don't mind the budget-friendly option with the Xbox Series S, where everything is just digital, then go for it. That's where I started, and I just left it on overnight and just downloaded stuff like Elden Ring. I downloaded Forza Motorsport, but like the consistent updates with the Xbox will be quite frequent. So getting the Xbox Series S requires you to have great internet access, as well as the Xbox Series X, because obviously you're still going to get the updates and stuff like that, but with the disc games and stuff like that, it will just offer that advantage of not needing the internet access or solely rely on the internet access to be able to play all these games. I live in Australia, so I have slower internet. It's better for me to have the Xbox Series X and have full functionality in the console. It is a very expensive console, but it's definitely worth it. It's super powerful. Another great reason to have the Xbox in general, they've upgraded the graphics for some of the past generation games, so they play up to 4K, and there's a list online as well with what games it is backwards compatible with that have been revamped in terms of its graphics and frames per second gameplay as well. So overall, once again, this is more budget-friendly introduction to the latest generation of sort of Xbox gameplay, and it's very worth it. And this console is more of that. It's more powerful, it has its own disk drive, it's got a lot of great features about it too, and I think both are fantastic. It just depends on who you are and what your needs are. If you don't mind just sticking to digital, then definitely the Xbox Series S is there for you and it's perfect. While a lot of people would like to upgrade to that Series X and get full functionality out of their gameplay, so I think the Xbox Series X would be perfect for you. Also, I love the blackout color with the Xbox Series X, and I don't really like the Series S for the white finish, and plus it marks quite easily, so you can see there is a mark there, so that's another note to put on there. But both are fantastic nonetheless. Both are very quiet as well during gameplay. That's sort of my overall thoughts and feelings with them. And yes, over and out, and I'll see you guys next time.